to do all this, to film all this, just to give me a little tape that I can play at home. You know, because you cannot believe that they're going to say, this is what the nation has a choice of watching, will be something to do with me.
And that somebody will go, there'll be a little spinning world, and somebody will go, and now, on BBC Two, it's that time of night, Catherine Tate show.
Exactly.
Oh, somebody said that out loud,
exactly.
in front of the nation. What's going to happen next?
Completely.
Yeah. So it's the audacity that surprises you.
I think it's
your own audacity.
Yeah, I think it's... Oh, gosh.
Well, I wonder whether that's what I think. I think I for myself, I think that making comedy your job is a bit tricky for me.
Yeah.
And I can't quite believe that I make a living out of doing something, A, that I enjoy so much, and B, that seems like a natural talent. I haven't had to train for this. Obviously, you learn things along the way, and I'm not going to pretend that it's not quite hard work sometimes, because it is. But it still feels like a slightly foolish thing to be doing, and it feels like I've got a lot of front.
Yeah.
But
no, I do see that. And especially when you're making a show, you have a sort of a little bit of a quality moment with yourself, and you go, people have made sets. You know what I mean? People have painted walls based on what you've written in a script, and it's like, I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? I didn't even know if... You know what I mean? And then you walk in, it's a hospital ward, and you go, Christ.
That's because I wrote hospital ward. Are you jealous of other good performers?
I do think you watch people and you go, oh, God, they're going to be funnier than me. You know? And I do think you do.
Do you think it has ruined your enjoyment? Now that you're in the business, 100% in, and you're one of the top girls, has it ruined you watching other top girls?
When you see someone really great, you realise that you're resisting it, and then you've got to stop it because you're going to miss out on something if you don't... You know, if you don't just enjoy it. But then, do you know, there's some people who I think, like someone like Jennifer Aniston. There's something about Jennifer Aniston that I find so wonderful. I love her.
Is it her hair?
It's not only just her hair, although that is a massive pull.
Yeah.
From my jealous cords. But I watch her, and oddly enough, I'm never jealous of her.
Because Jennifer Aniston is no threat to you whatsoever.
But
she's in another country. She in a different kind of show. She's never going to come into your area and steal your work. Oh,
I see what you mean. You mean not
necessarily that. I mean, that's interesting that you can watch someone. There are some people I can watch. I can watch Victoria Wood. I have no jealousy whatsoever
because there's no crossover.
Well, not just that, but because I want to enjoy her so much.
Yeah, that you can't
I refuse to let.
That's right.
You know, I want to be a punter.
Yes, that's right.
But there are some people where I think, hang on. I like that a lot.
Yes,
I wish I'd had that idea. Yeah. I could definitely do that.
Yeah.
And that person's doing it slightly better than I think I could. And so there's a kind of irksome enjoyment.
I do know what you mean, and that's not very nice. When I saw the trailers and stuff of Green Wing coming out, I was a bit scared about that because I thought, oh, this looks like something I might have wanted to do. You know what I mean? And I just thought Green Wing was so... I loved it. I just loved it. And I just thought, all right, bit of sort of like naturalistic banter. Is it a little bit surreal? Is it, oh, yeah, doing bits of natural... Oh, God, don't let it be good. That's what I was thinking. And when I watched it, that was it. I had to surrender myself to the performances, to the concept, to the whole programme, and go, brilliant. And I'm. It's like
I bow.
Do
you think it's different now that people have an expectation of you and have decided what they love about you? Do you think now that there's a weird pressure that they might laugh at anything that you do?
Well, I think there's something in the idea that, and I think this is what you have to be really careful of, that the more successful you become, the less you have to do. And I think there lies disaster if you start believing that. And if you look around, there is some truth in that over the years. Because your own goalposts shift quite quickly, don't they? Suddenly you assimilate this kind of lifestyle, and the boundaries shift, and I think you have to always keep an eye on what, like for me, what 5 years ago I would have considered, I can't believe I'm getting the chance to do this. Do you know what I mean? And how hard I worked then. But the other nice thing about that is there was a period when I was trying to break through, and you can become quite creative in that. Do you know what I mean? There's that saying, nothing fuels creativity like poverty. And that's true. I don't mean in the financial sense, I was never poor, but in that way of wanting something, you know what I mean? And feeling it's sort of slightly hopeless about things, it sort of spurred me on. But you work really hard at that. But what you don't have is the confidence in your work. So the nice thing about the kind of the confirmation and a little bit of success is there comes a confidence, and if you can take the right amount of confidence but still have the kind of you need a kind of I think you still need a sort of bit of a wide-eyed wonderment about it all, and never forget a big old dollop of gratefulness.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because if that goes, you can forget it.
Absolutely. But there is an upside as well, which is that if people love that teenager so much that they laugh as you come on, and there's expectation, there does mean you can push it a little bit further. You
can, as I did with the Queen.
When you told her to... You didn't tell her to fuck off,
I didn't.
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Not in public. No. What did you tell her?
I didn't tell her anything. I was doing a little sketch for her. I asked if one's face was bothered.
I think that's all right.
That's all right. I then
you said one's.
I said
yours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did ask her if she was calling my mum a prostitute, and then I did say she was going mental, as in mental. But I think the headline is "Comic Accuses Monarch of Insanity" today. So.
Okay, so that's gone quite wrong.
Doesn't always work.
Yeah, so off to jail with you.
So that little ripple of applause as I came out slightly backfired on me that day.
Yeah.
Off with my head.
Do you think there's a problem about comedy and age? Maybe you're supposed to hand the baton on and just step aside, please. You're slightly embarrassing. You're a bit wrinkled. No. Please move aside. I'm only asking this because I'm literally round the corner from that moment. But I would hate somebody else to make that decision for me. I'd like to know myself when that's the time.
But I don't know that will be the case now, because I'm pretty sure that in 20 years' time we'll still be watching Julie Walters be funny.
Yeah.
And Victoria Wood be funny.
Yeah.
And you and Jennifer be funny.
Maybe.
All right, Jennifer.
Yes. Yeah, I give you that. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. That's enough.
Next on BBC 4, turning his scathing wit on youth TV, Charlie Brooker and a blazing new screen wipe, then a tale of grief, recovery and new life in a common thread at 10.